Welcome back. I am Sakshi Kesharwal and I'm maths expert in askIITians. So today we'll be starting with the second lecture of what? Integers, right? Knowing our numbers, that's integer, right? So basically in the last class we have done about the basics of the class 6, right? We have we have gone through what we studied in the class 6, and now here we'll be studying about what is there in the class 7. And let us suppose you have studied about, if you have studied about uh, something maybe in the multiplication in class 6 grade, then it's good to go. If you have not studied, then it is an here we will be introducing about the multiplication of integers and the division of integers and the properties related to it. Right now in the last class we have done about the integers, closure property, commutative properties, and for addition and subtraction, commutative property, associative property, and closure property, right? So we learned about that closure property is been applicable for integers under subtraction and addition. Commutative property is only applicable for addition, not for subtraction. And for associative property, it has been applicable only for addition, not for subtraction. Similarly, we'll be seeing that multiplication of the integers, and as we were doing the subtraction of integers by taking the additive inverse, changing the sign, no, we are not going to do that questions anymore. Please, I'll be teaching you the other method. We'll be following that. Right now, that is an old trend. Now that's over. We'll be following this forever and ever. Right now, from this day onwards, we'll be studying this thing. So let's get started, okay? Yeah. Okay, so let's start with this thing, Vida. Um, okay, so knowing your numbers, we'll be starting with this. So here we'll be learning about the multiplication of integers, right? So till now we have learned about what is, like, we have done addition, we have done subtraction, and we have done everything on the number line, and then we have seen, right? Now over here we'll be doing the multiplication of integers, right? So multiplication of integer, basically multiplication is what? The multiplication of two integer is what? Repeated addition or not? It's just a repeated addition. So if you see that 3 into minus 2. So this means what? You're writing 3 times, like minus 2 plus minus 2 plus minus 2, right? So this is equals to what? 3 times the minus 2 to what? Minus 2 plus minus 2 plus minus 2. So you're adding 3 negative integers. It means what? In short, you will be adding them and putting the negative sign. So that is equals to what? Minus 6, right? So, and I say that 3 times the 2. If you take positive number, one positive number and one negative number, you are going to look like this. So it's written what? Beta 3 times 2. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equals to what? 6. All of them are what? Positives. You just added them, right? So here you just see that for the first one, if you see, that is 3 into minus 2. So here you start with 0, right? So it is like minus 2. Then again minus 2, then again minus 2, you reach to 6. Then again, if you go on the right hand side, let me change color of the highlighter. Wait a minute. Yeah. I'll take this. If you're just going like this in this direction, then this direction, and then this direction, right? So you get 3 into what? 3 into what? Negative. That is 3. That is positive number into negative numbers give you answer as what? Negative number. In short, if you give a close observation, what you did, you actually multiplied the absolute value and then you did what? Beta, put the negative sign. Over here, you saw that 3 into 2 is what? 6. But here it is 3 into minus 2. You get the answer as negative 6. And the same follows over here. If you just give a close observation, yeah. This is multiplication of a positive number and a negative number. Let's go one by one, right? Everything. Okay. See, what is a multiplication of a positive number and a negative number? So if I'll just I'll explain you one more thing. Like, let's take an example for it, right? It's a repeated. So this is we have done. So we see that multiplication of a positive integer and a negative integer, what will be your answer, right? So if you see that if to multiply a positive integer with a negative integer, we can multiply the whole number and then put the negative sign before their product. So the product of a negative and a positive integer will always be what? Negative. Right now, you just saw that when you multiply this, if you just see, like, if I write like, minus 2 times into 3, right? Right now we did 3 into 2 times of negative 2. So this is equals to what? Beta, minus 2, right? And just hold on, dear. Yeah. It is will be what beta? Minus 2 plus minus 2, which is equals to what beta? Minus 6. Now, I wrote minus 2 into 3. Just give a close observation. Can I write this as let's take an example. Okay, let's take an example of this. Okay, if I write 4 into 3, it is equals to how much beta? 12. Then I write 3 into 3. It is equals to what beta? 9. That is equals to what? This is equals to what? Basically, this is equals to what? 12 minus of 3, right? Now, if I write, just see, this is now you're learning 2 into 3. 2 into 3 is equals to what beta? 6, which is equals to what beta? 9 minus of 3, right? You just 3, you're multiplying 3. So what you're doing, you're just subtracting. Now, if I write 1 into 3, which is equals to what? 3. So can I write this as 6 minus of 3? Right or not? Now, if I write 0 into 3, from here only you learn the multiplication of a 0. See, multiplication of a number, that is a number with 0, you have learned right now. So can I write this as 3 minus of, is it equals to what? You don't know. Let's suppose you don't know what is the answer, right? So if you follow the pattern, if you see that you just get the pattern of the above, so this will be equals to what? This is 6. 6 was written as like 1 above minus 3. So this will be equals to what? 3 minus 3 is equals to what? Beta 0. So you got the other answer, right? Now if I write negative 1 into 3, so negative 1 into 3 will be equals to what beta? Now you get the answer 3. Now minus of, like you will write, this is, sorry, you will be writing over here 0, my bad. Beta, hold on. Yeah, you will be writing 0. Here you will be writing 0 minus of 3. So 0 minus of 3, if you go with the additive inverse thing also, it is what? 0 plus of minus 3. So 0 plus like addition of like 1 is like 0 and minus 3. So your answer will be what beta? Negative 3 or not? Yeah, this is equals to what beta? Negative 3. Yes or no? If I write minus 2 into 3, so this is equals to what beta? This is equals to, you don't know what is the answer. So this is actually equals to what beta? Minus 3 and minus of 3, yes or no? So can I write this as minus 3 plus of minus 3 or not? So which is equals to what? Negative 3 plus negative 3 will be what? Actually addition and putting the negative sign. So this is equals to what? 3. So from here you learn the two things. First you learned what? From here you learn two things. What is the first thing you learn? That is a multiplication of a number with 0. How you see that? You see that there will be a repeated subtraction of a number. You can just follow any of the rule, and you just saw that. And one thing also you saw that 2 into negative 3 and negative into 3, that is negative positive into negative or negative into positive, both will give the answer same, right? No matter what, right? So right now, can I write this as, I change the highlighter color, it's green, it's not good. Hold on. Yeah. So this is equals to what? Again, negative 6, because we got the answer, which is negative 6. So we saw that two things we learned. We learned about the commutative property of commutative property of integers, right? Commutative property, we have learned about the multiplication with the 0, right? So any number, when you multiply with the 0, either negative or positive, you get the answer as 0, right? So this is what we are going to learn. So it says that for two integers, it says that, this is important point over here. If you see this, that is p into minus q, or minus p into q is equals to what? You actually multiply and put the negative sign. This is the important point that you should know. So if I give you the question, like multiply minus 3 into like 4, what will be your answer? Your answer will be what? 3 into 4 is what? 12. Put the negative sign. That's it. Now if I say multiply minus 8 into 2. What will be your answer? 8 into 2 is what? 16. Put the negative sign. Now, if I say multiply minus 2 into 8, so it will be what? 2 into 8 is what? 16. And put the negative sign. That's it. That's a multiplication of a positive integer with the negative integer, right? Now, let's come into the next slide. You can just see over here. Over here, it says that 4 into minus 10. So 4 into minus 10 is what? 4 into minus 10. So you're multiplying 4 into what? 10 times? Right? So it's like minus 10 is like, it is what? Minus 10 plus minus 10, right? And this is what? Plus minus 10 plus minus 10, right? So this is equals to what? You're going like this one step. I'll take a highlighter, right? So you just see that you get one step, then two steps, then three steps, and then four steps. What do you mean by this? 10 times of minus 4. So it means what? It's written what? 10 times of minus 4. So can I write like this? From here, just see, can I write this as -4 plus -4, right? So this will be what? -4 plus -4 plus -4 plus -4. So this is how many times? Like 10 times, right? You will be writing this as 10 times. So this is what it is showing over here, that you're writing like 1 step, then 2 step, then 3 step, then 4 step, then 5 step, then 6 step, then 7 step, then 8 step, then 9 step, and then 10 step. You reach to both the places what? Beta -40, and this is also what? -40. So this is like one more example, right? So I taught you the other way also, like you can go with the repeated subtraction. Why it is commutative, I taught you, but here it's like it is on the representation on the number line. But why it is commutative, like 4 into -10? Now, if you might be thinking like 4 into -10 is like, okay, but ma'am, why -10 into 4 is like the same thing, right? So that's the reason I gave you over there. And this is the presentation on the number line, why it is got over there. Okay. So it says that the multiplication of two negative integers, right? Multiplication of two negative integers, just keep it in mind. What happened if you multiply two negative integers like -2 into -3, right? So -2 into -3 will be what? Beta, it is +6. Why it is +6? So to multiply two negative integers, we can multiply them as whole and then put the positive sign before their product, right? Put the positive sign before their product. Put the positive sign before the product, right? So hence we multiply two negative integer and the result is what? Beta, positive. So if you see this, this is the most important thing, right? That is, if you multiply any two negative integers, what will be your answer, right? So if I say, for example, -2 into -3. So what will be your answer? 2 into 3 is what? 6. And negative into negative will become what? Beta, positive. So here you get negative into negative gives you what answer as positive, right? Now, why positive? I'll give you a very simple proof. If you understand that thing, please try to understand that, right? See, I'll give you an example. The question is, why -2 into -3 is equals to 6? This is your out question. Now, what is the proof? I'll give you the proof. Try to understand what is the proof behind it, right? We know that by the additive inverse, like -3 and +3, right? And I'll write like this. Hold on, I'll write it properly. It's look very clumsy. I'll just give you a proof. Okay. Just see this. Okay, I write that is 3 plus of -3 give you answer as what? 0 by additive inverse? No. Actually, if you have studied about the distributive property, first I have taught you the distributive property and then followed this thing, right? So what I'm going to do, it's like this. I'm going to multiply on both the side, right? I'm going to multiply on both side by -2, right? So what happened over here? It says that -2 multiplied by 3 plus of -3 is equals to what? Beta, -2 into 0, right? I'll be multiplying, right? So what happened over here? Just use the distributive property. You'll be multiplying this. So it will be what? -2 into 3, right? Plus -2 into minus of 3. And then this is what? Any number multiplied with 0 is what? Beta, 0? Yes or no? You can just follow this rule one by one. Yes, you can just go. Right now we did like multiplication of any number. It's like will be what? 0, right? So this is going to be 0. Now just give a close observation, right? And we know that till now we have multiplied. This answer is going to be what? Beta, -6. We know this answer. And we don't know what is this answer and is equals to 0. Now think beta, right now the sum of the two number, this is -6 and plus something gives you the answer 0. So what will be the value of this? This value has to be what? This value have to be what? I'll use a different color pen. This value have to be what? This value have to be what? Beta, positive? Yes or no? And what positive? It should be positive, any positive number. It cannot be 3, it cannot be 4, it cannot be 8, it cannot be 10. It has to be what? It have to be positive 6. It have to be what? Beta, positive 6. That is why from here you get the answer as negative into negative is what? Beta, positive. So this is kind of proof, right? So right now we have learned so many things. See how the things we are just learning. And later on in class 8 or 7, you will be like, you go and ask your brother, anyone, why negative into negative is positive. You just ask them why negative into negative is positive. Nobody will be able to answer. They'll say, yeah, teacher has taught you negative into negative is positive. You ask them why negative into positive is why negative. Just ask why with them, and you have the answer. You can ask why multiplication with the zero is like zero, right? Why multiplication of any number with zero is zero, right? So just follow the rule. Okay, just see. Okay. Okay, now coming to the product of the three negative numbers. Now this is easy. The first once you have understood, I'll give you an example. Let's do 1, 2, 3 questions. If I give you the question like multiply, if I give you to multiply minus 7 into minus 8. So what will be your answer? Minus will become what? Positive. So this will be what? 56. Now if I give you to multiply minus 7 into 2 into minus 8, right? This is the question. Just see. There is two negative signs. So negative into negative will become what? Beta? Positive, right? And now you just multiply the whole. So 7 into 2 is like, you can just 7 into 8 is 56. 56 into 2 is what? 112, right? If I give you the question like minus 7 into 5 into 3, what will be your answer, right? So it is only just one negative. Negative into positive is what? Beta? Negative. So negative, put the sign and just multiply. So 15 into 7 is how much? Beta? 105, right? So this is 105. That's your answer. That's it. Okay. Now if I'll write minus 3 into minus 2 into 7. If I'll write like this. So again, it will be what? Beta? Negative into negative is what? Positive. So it will be what? First you write positive. If you see, you want to put the positive sign or not, it doesn't matter. But when the answer is negative, you have to put the answer as negative, right? So 3 into 2 is what? 6, and 6 into 7 is what? Beta? 42. That's it. What your answer? So this is how you do it. Now we'll be learning that is a product of three or more negative numbers. I think so everything is written very clearly. So it is just see. When you're going to multiply the three numbers, right? So just give a close observation. If I say, first I'll give you an example before writing this. If I'll say minus 2 multiplied by minus 1 into minus 3, right? So go step by step. So if I say first, I'll be multiplying these two, right? So negative into negative will become what? Beta? Positive. So 2 into 1 will be what? 2 into 1 is what? Plus 2. Now, multiply this as negative 3. So now this is a positive number, right? This will be positive. Now positive into negative will be what? Beta? Negative. So your answer is what? Minus 6. That's it. Right? So what happened? You have to just see, like if you just multiply 2 in negative, the answer will become what? Positive. So that's it. I think so the everything is written a lot. So let's read it out. What are the things written out? So it depends on the number of the negative integers. If we multiply two negative integers, their product will be what? Positive, right? Now if you multiply three negative numbers, the answer will be what? Again a negative integer, right? If we multiply the 4, then their product will be what? Positive. So it says that minus into minus is plus, then plus into minus is what? Minus, and then minus into plus is what? Minus. Yes or no? So it means what? Two negative sign gives you one positive, right? So can I say if there are 5 negative signs, your answer will be what? Negative. Why? Because one positive, the second positive, and this one is what? Negative. Left all alone. Let us suppose there are six negative numbers. So 2 1 pair, 2 1 pair, and 2 1 pair. Everything gone. So answer will be what? Positive. Now, if there are 3 negatives, right? So 2 of them will make you give you positive, and the third one will give you what? Negative or not. So if we see that what we get over here, if the numbers of the negative integer is even, then the result is what? Positive, right? So if I say that is negative, if you are multiplying negative 100 times, the answer will be what? Positive. Yes. If I say you are multiplying negative like by 51 times, so your answer will be what? Odd. Like you're multiplying odd times, right? So your answer will be what? Negative. So everything is written over here very clearly. So I'll give you one example also. So we see that in short, if we write that is negative to the power, what? 2 into 2, right? If I write 3 to the power 4 means what? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. This is the meaning, right? If I write minus 2 ki power 2 means what? Minus 2 into minus 2. This is what it does mean, right? You should know what does it mean. So if I write negative to the power even, the answer will be what? Beta? Positive. Right? And if I say negative to the power odd, it answer will be what? Beta? Negative. That's it. Negative. Negative. That's it. That's it. So if I give you a number, like what will be your answer? If I say negative 5 to the power 102, what will be your answer? Answer mean negative and positive. I don't want what is the exact answer. If I say negative 2 key power 111, like 11, what will be your answer? It will be what, beta? This is what negative to the power even. So your answer will be what, beta? Positive. That's it. Positive. And it says that negative to the power odd will give you answer as what, beta? Negative. That's it. Negative. That's it. If I give you the question, what will be the answer? If I say you to multiply multiply negative 2 into 3 into 4 into like negative 4 into minus 3 into minus 1. What will be your answer? So first you see how many negatives are there. So 1, 2, 3. 3 negatives are there. So answer is negative, right? I wrote 1, my bad. So you just write it's negative 1, right? Right? Now, what you do, you just now multiply the wholes. So it will be 2 into 3 is what? 6 into 4 is 24. 24 into 3 is what? 72. That's your answer. Simple, right? If I give you to multiply, no, this is the answer. Now count the number of negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 negatives. Negative to the power what? 6 negatives are there. It will be what? Positive. So 6 is like positive. So no need to write the positive sign. Now how many 2s? 2 into 2, 4. 4 into 2 is 8. Uh, 8 into 2 is 16. 16 into 2 is 32. 32 into 2 is what? 64. That's your answer. Or either you can write this as negative 2 to the power 6. Whatever you feel like, right? Choice is yours. Okay. Now, coming to the properties of multiplication. See, as we have learned in the whole numbers, as for the integers, most of the properties are being like valid for addition and multiplication, all of them. But subtraction and subtraction and division, you have to think, right? All the properties do not go for it. So let's go for the closure property. What is a closure property under the addition? In case of the multiplication, the product of the two integers is what? Like, what is a closure property? You take one number, one integer, you take the other integer, and the answer is also what? Integer, right or not? So you take any integer. Right now we have just learned that is negative into negative as positive. If you multiply negative integer to the negative integer, answer is an integer. We have just seen that you multiply negative integer into positive integer, the answer is negative integer. We multiply positive integer into negative integer, the answer is again an integer, right? It's a negative integer. Now, if we have multiply positive integer into positive integer, the answer is again the positive integer. Choice is yours. You can do whatever you want to see. So you see that for all the integers P and Q, we see this. This is right. Really not. I don't think so. We need to go very much deep into it. I think so. This is very much clear to you. If it says that P into Q is what R, where R is an integer, and it's true for all, we can say that integers are closed under what, beta? Multiplication, right? And integers are what closed under what? Uh, addition and closed under subtraction, right? So closure property we have learned about like three things. Addition, yes. Subtraction, yes. Multiplication, yes. Right? We did right. Now, what are the examples we write down? Minus 10 into minus 3 is what? 30. Minus 12 into minus 4 is what? 48. So this is an integer, this is an integer, this is an integer. Integer into integer is integer. Integer plus integer is integer. Integer minus integer is integer. So we say that integers are closed under addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Clear? Now let's learn about the commutative property, right? So commutative property, I think so I have discussed right now. Before only in the previously only we discussed that is 2 into negative 3 is equals to 3 into negative 2. My bad. 2 into negative 3 is equals to what, beta? 3 minus 3 into 2. We just learned. I think so. I'm speaking a lot, but I think so I should have right? So you just see this over here. First, we see that we just saw that is negative 2 into 3 is equals to what? Minus 6. And 3 into negative 2 is equals to what? Beta? Minus 6. We saw this previously. I showed you how to do it, right? So why this is happening, I have showed to you, right? So just see the position changes. So yes, we say that integers are commutative under what, beta? Multiplication. That's it. So that's all. So just say if we change the order of the integer while multiplying, the result will remain the same. It is said that the multiplication is commutative for integers, right? So yes, it's true. But is it true for, yes, we have learned about the commutative property for addition. Yes. right? So if you just change the position, your answer will get. But is it true for subtraction? No, 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 right? So it's no. But for multiplication, it's yes. So for we write that, we say this as you just see over here for any two integers p and q, p into q is equals to q into p. So 30 into minus 20 into minus 30 is what? Minus 600. And minus 30 into 20 is again what? Minus 600. We say that there is no difference in the answer after changing the order of the number. That's it. That's your answer, right? Okay. Now multiplication of zero. Again, I have taught you this thing, right? So we have learned that if you multiply any number with the zero, your answer will be what? Again, the zero, right? So multiplication of any number with the zero, if you take a negative number, you take a positive number, you take any of the number, you will get the answer as what? With a zero, right or not? Right? Yes, so it is going to be what any integer when you multiply with the zero, you get the answer as what beta zero. So 9 into 0 is what? 0, and 0 into minus 15 is what? 0. So I don't think so we need lots of things to discuss on this. Okay, now let's coming to the multiplicative identity. Now this is new, right? Multiplicative identity. I think so multiplicative identity we did in class 6. Hopefully we did. Right, we did in class 6, right? So what do you mean by multiplicative? Additive identity, just go and just think. Don't read it out over here, what's written, just think. What was the additive identity? Just try to just think in that way. What was the additive identity? Additive identity means what? You take a number, right? What should be added in the other number? This is the other number. What should be added to get the number same? Like 5 may, what should be added to get the 5? It is 0, right? We are doing additive. Additive means add karo. Now, if I say multiplicative, so what should be multiplied in 5 to get 5? Answer will be what? 1, because multiplication of any number with what? 1 with what? 1. Like it's the same number, 5. Now, if I say multiply minus 10, multiply minus 10 with the sum number to get the minus 10. So what you will be multiplying? You will be multiplying with 1 or not, right? So 1 is like a very important number. So 1 is a what? Multiplicative identity, right? So what is a multiplicative identity? Additive means what? What you are adding to get the same number. You're adding 0 to get the same number. What should be multiplied in a number to get the same number? That is a multiplicative, right? That's the multiplicative identity. That's 1, right? So we say that if we multiply an integer 1, the result will always remain an integer, right? So if I say minus 3 into 1, the answer is what? Minus 3. If I write 1 into minus 3, your answer is again what? Minus 3. If I write 1 into 7, your answer is what? It is 7. And 7 into 1 is equals to what? 7. So beta, here you see that this one, I'll use a highlighter. Can I say that? This one, this one, this one is what? Multiplicative identity? Yes. So 1 is what? So we say that 1 is multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity. Right? Now, coming to associative property. Now, this is a technical task. You think it will work? Yes, it will work. Addition, multiplication and additions are those things which follow all the properties, but subtraction and division, you have to give a close observation. Let's give a close observation over here. Now, one thing I want to teach you that about the subtraction. See, we have been doing a subtraction by converting the negative sign to positive and then writing the additive inverse. Now from onwards, no, we are not going to do that, right? So if the number is written, let us suppose I'll teach you this thing. If the number is written like 4 minus of 3, so we will not change it. It's written, now just think that this number is written like this, 4 of, this is what beta negative into positive. We are going to do this. Negative into positive is what beta negative. So your answer is what beta 4 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is equals to what beta 1, right? If I write negative 4 minus of 3, right? This is written. Let's take this. We are not going to change this thing. So can I think that it's written like minus 4 minus of plus 3, right or not? So negative, this is going to be negative, and this is negative into positive is what beta negative. So negative 4 and negative 3 is going to give you what beta 4 minus of 3. Minus 4 minus 3 gives you what beta minus 7, right? You're adding it, right? So what happened over here, just see like this. When you have the same sign, right, like -3, -4, you will be actually adding and then putting the subtraction sign. One is negative sign and other is the positive sign. Actually, you will be subtracting and putting the sign of the bigger number. If I would have written like -7 plus of 4, this was written, right? So don't change the sign there. You don't have to change the sign. One is positive and the other is negative, right? One is positive, the other is negative, right? So it doesn't matter. You have to what do? You have to just subtract and put the sign of the bigger number, right? So this is going to be what beta -3, right? If I say, hmm, hmm, hmm. Now I write -4 minus of -3. This is a number written. Now give a close observation. Now negative into negative is what beta? Positive. Yes or no? This is going to be a positive. So this is will be -4 plus 3. Now one is negative, the other is positive. In short, you will be subtracting and putting the negative sign. So your answer will be what? -1. Right? If I would have written like 7 of -8, if this is written, right? So negative into negative is what beta? Positive, right or not? Right? So this is going to be what? 7 plus 8, which is equals to what? 15. Now, if I would have written like 15 plus of -3, right? I think so, you know this. So it will be what beta? Negative, positive into negative is what beta? Negative. So this is written as what? 15 minus of 3, which is equals to what? 12. One is positive, one is negative. So that's it. So this is how we will be proceeding on later on, right? So what is an associative property? Take any three numbers and you do the groupings, right? तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है, I like you and I leave you behind like this and that, right? So you're a good friend. So you have P, Q, R numbers. So we say that P and Q are like friends and R is a not a friend, but later on, but the sum of them is like equal, right? Now, now they left P all alone and Q and R are like friends. Now, this can be also written as what? P and R are friends and Q is all left alone. Why to keep Q with every time, right? So you can keep the Q all alone also, right? So this is what is said to be a commutative property, associative property. So let's take an example of P is equals to 2, Q is equals to -3, and R is equals to like -1. Just follow it, right? So it says that P into Q into R is equals to what beta? P into Q into R, right? So it says that 2 into -3, right, into -1 is equals to what? 2 into -3 into -1, right? This is the way. See, I am using the brackets. Please try to understand this thing very clearly, right? So 2 positive into negative is what? Negative. So -6 into -1. So negative negative is positive. So it's +6 is equals to 2 into negative is what? Bit of positive. So it's +3, right? 2 into 3 is 6. So yes, we say that integers are associative under what? Multiplication, right? Yes or no? That's it. Now let's see this as an example and let's go fast with it. Okay, now just see over here. It says that if you take the three integers 2, 4, and 5, we change the grouping and see that is 2 into 4, the product is 24. And the integers have been grouped differently, but the product is still 24. So we say that the result remains the same. Hence, the multiplication is associated under what? Integers, right? Now, let's coming to the distributive property. Distributive property, please take the multiplication of the sign and everything very clearly. We did the distributive property in class 6th, right? So distributive property means what? You take the any number and this is B and C and you just multiply A into B and then A into C, right? This is the way you would be writing. And I think so the image is very much clearly visible. Like 5 into -3 plus of 2, if this is number written, right? So what do you mean by this? You will be multiplying this 5 into 3, right? So 5, now just be careful with the sign. So positive into negative is what bit? -15, right? Now you will be multiplying this positive into positive. This is positive into positive is what bit? Positive. So 5 into 5 into 2 is what? 10. That's your answer. This is a way of writing, or we say that 5 into -3 plus of 5 into 2. That's it. You can write like this, either of the way, whatever you feel like. Later on, this thing will be like not of the use, right? So yes, you should know how to do it, right? So if I say like -5 into -3 plus of 2, if this is written, right? So what you will be doing over here? So you will be multiplying this into this. So this is equals to what? -5 into -3. Either you can just put the multiplication sign or you cannot. That's the same thing, right? Plus of -5 into 2, right? So it's -5, minus into minus is what, beta? Plus 15. And that minus into minus, plus into minus is what, beta? 10 minus 10, right? Now, what will be the actual answer? See, when there's a negative sign, you have seen me, I'm putting the brackets, right? So when you have negative into positive is what? Actually negative. So 15 minus 10, so your answer is what? 5. That's it. This is the way of solving. Like positive into negative is what, beta? You're negative, right? Now, coming to the let's do one problem solving. Okay. It says that 35 into 10 plus 2 can be written as what? 35 into 10, right? And then it can be written as what? 35 into 2 is equals to 70. So 35 into 10 is what? 350 plus 35 into 2 is 70. Just add it up, right? Now let's see this example. To see this. Okay. It says that -4 into -2 plus 7 is equals to -4 into 5 is equals to -2, right? That's 20. Either like this is the LHS, either you can just solve like -4, I'll just solve for you. And it's written -2 into +7. So for anyone, if anyone have given you the question, nobody's going to use a distributive property. First, you will use the brackets and simplify the brackets. So it's written -4 into what, beta? -2 plus 7 will be what, beta? +5, right? And negative into positive is what, beta? Negative. So -20. This is a one way. What is the other way? Like -4 into, you see this, -2 plus of 7. Then use the distributive property. So here we are dealing with the numbers. Later on, this will be very much helpful for like doing the questions on the algebra and the later on the part, right? So negative into negative is what, beta? Positive. So it will be what? -4 into -2 plus -4 into 7, right? So it will be what? -4 into 7, right? Yeah, so minus into minus is what, beta? Positive, so +8, and it will be what? -28. So plus into minus is what? Again negative, so it is what? 8 minus of 28. So your answer is what, beta? -20. Both are same, right or not? That's it. Yeah. Okay. Coming to the distributive property over subtraction. I think so. We have done this also, but it's let's bifurcate that. You are kids. Okay. So you just see that when you have a negative sign, you have to put the negative sign in inside, right? So follow the rule. Follow the rule. I have taught you this thing, so follow the rule, right? So it says that 5 into 3 is what, beta? It's like 5 into 3 minus 8. So 3 minus 8 is what, beta? -5, because 3, one is positive, one is negative. So 3 is, I felt right, 3 minus of 8. So one is positive and the other is what? Negative. So negative and positive will actually, you will be subtracting and putting the negative, like putting the sign of the greater value, right? So it will be what? -5, that's 25. Now it's written, now you just multiply. It's like 5 into 3 minus of 8. So what you'll be doing? Using the distributive property. 5 into 3. That is positive into positive is positive. And then positive into negative is what, beta? Negative. So you will be writing 3, 5 into 8. That's it, right? So this is equals to 15 minus of 40, which is equals to what, beta? -25, right? So you have to see that positive into positive, negative into negative, negative into positive, you see all the time, right? If I give you one more question, -7 into 5 minus of 2. Let's make it simple, right? So what is the way? First, I'll be going with this way, right? So it's written, I'll make a row. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So it is written -7 or 5 minus of 2. I'll go with both the methods, right? So it's written first solve the bracket. So it is written -7 into, make this into. So this is what 5 minus 2 is what? 3. So negative into positive is what? Negative. So -21. Now yes, the distributive property. Now negative into positive is what? Positive. Now negative into negative is what? Positive, right? So it will be what? 7 into 2, right? You put the sign if it's required. If not, then no need to put the sign, right? So this is what? -7 into 5 is what? -35 plus of what? 14. So this is equals to what, beta? -21. That's it, right? So what we have to do right now, we did over here, when there is a sign, like over here, it's like you can just, either you can change the sign over here also. Like this could be done in this way also. I'll tell you the other way. What is the way? Instead, you can write like this also, right? So it is like -4 into -2, right? Or either you can just write the answer without just doing anything, right? So either you can just write like this also. I'll tell you one way. Wait a minute. Where is eraser? See, you can write, see, I just opened up and you can just write this like this also. Just see, negative into negative is what? Positive. Negative into negative is positive, so you write positive and 3 into 2. Write the wholes and you just put the sign as you want, right? And negative into positive is what, beta? Negative. So 4 into 7. This is also the possibility. So 8 minus 28, which is equals to what, beta? Minus 20. You have skipped this step. Actually, you have skipped this step. So you can do like this. Later on, you will be doing this only, not this, right? So I'll give you one more question. I have space. Let's do one more question. If I write using the distributive property, so negative, positive into negative is what, beta? Negative. Negative 23 into 7, right? Now, I'll write negative, positive into negative is what? Again, negative. So 3 into 2, right? So this is what, beta? Minus 21 minus 6, which is equals to what, beta? Minus 27. This is your answer, right? Okay, let's coming to the division of integers, right? What is the division of integers? Now just see a close observation. Division means what? It is basically the inverse of multiplication. We did in the last class. If we divide like if we divide like 3 divided by 4 divided by 2, right? So we say this is like you're dividing of the two parts, or we can say that the inverse of multiplication. Like if I write 2 divided by 2, so you write 2 into 1 by 2. You do the inverse, right or not? Reciprocal of it. So we did in the last class. So what is this? So division is the inverse of multiplication. So like multiplication, we can divide the whole numbers and then place the negative sign on the prior of the result, and hence the answer will be in the form of the negative, right? So please keep one thing in the important. There's a rule. It's same as multiplication also. So when we say what are the rules, I'll write the rules again for you. It says that positive divided by positive, right? Your answer is positive, right? Negative divided by positive. Your answer will be what, beta? Negative, right? Positive divided by negative. Your answer will be what? Again, negative, right? And negative divided by negative. Your answer will be what? Still negative. That's it. That's the rule. That's the rule, right? Same like multiplication. So over here, you see this. It's like you follow the rule. If I say 64 divided by minus 8, right? So this is equals to what? What will be your answer? Positive divided by negative. So it's negative. So 64 divided by 8 will be what? 8. That's it. You divide the whole and put the sign. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now coming, like if I give you the number like minus 72 divided by minus 12, right? So it says that minus 72 divided by minus 12. So negative divided by negatives, your answer is what? Positive. So 72 divided by 12 is what? 6. That's it, your answer, right? If I write like minus 12 divided by 2, right? So it's like minus 12 divided by 2, negative divided by positive. So your answer is negative 6. That's it. Right. If I write like 2 divided by like, I'll write 24 divided by 3, right? Negative 3. So this is going to be what? Positive divided by negative. It is going to be what, beta? Negative 8. That's it. Got it? So just see this answer and get the same thing, right? Now over here, the division of two negative integers, right? I taught you everything, beta. There is no need of this. Okay. So division of two negative integers, I taught you when the division of two negative integer will always be what? Positive. Put the positive sign before the result. So that's it. I taught you just now. Right. So that's okay. That's we have done with this thing. Okay. Now what are the properties? Just think on the property. Closure property beta. I just wrote it in this form, I think, so this will be more helpful for you. So over here, you just see just see this. For any integers p, q, and r, right? What is the closure property? Means integer divided by integer. Answer has to be integer. It is not always. For example, if I say 3 divided by 2, like negative 2, not integer, right? You will just see this. 10 divided by 5 is like 2. But 5 divided by 10 is not an integer, it's 1 by 2, it's a fraction. So division is not close. It has to be for all the integers, not a single exemption is there. No, not at all. No. Right? Commutative property also no. Still, it says that p divided by q and q divided by p is not equal. So you just see over here 10 divided by 5 is a 2, but 5 divided by 10 is what? 1 by 2. So still no, no, it's no. Right? Now let's coming to this part. Division by 0. See, what happened with the division of 0? What happened with the division of 0? I'll just tell you one thing. Division is what beta? Repeated subtraction. If I say like 8 divided by 2. So what you will be doing? Like 8 minus 2, your answer is 6. 6 minus 2 is what? 4. 4 minus 2 is what? 2. 2 minus 0 is 2 minus 2 is what beta? 0. So you got this answer in what? 4 steps, right? So your answer is 4. That's your question, right? But if I say 2 divided by 0, right? So you're going to do 2 minus 0. Your answer is 2. Then 2 minus 0 is equal to again 2. Then 2 minus 0 is again 2. Then 2 minus 0 is again 2. So there is any end. Can you define it? No, you cannot define it for any number, right? So if you're going to divide like 5 divided by, you will say, ma'am, are you going to get the answer 2? No, you don't know at which step. See, it depends on the number of steps. So there were 4 steps. So that is why the quotient is equals to what beta? 4. Right now, you don't know at which step it's going to give you the answer 0. You don't know at which step. You know, there is no step where it's going to give you answer. That is why we say this as undefined, right? We say this as what beta? Undefined, right? So division by any number. But if I say 0 divided by 2, so your answer is what beta? 0. But 2 divided by 0 is undefined. Yeah, undefined, right? We say this as undefined. Clear? Okay, now division identity. Multiplicative identity, division. What you will be multiplying in a number to get the same number. That's number 1. That's it. 1 is the best thing you can have, right? So it's like 10 divided by 1. So yes. What is an associative property? Again, no. No. Division is like a very big thing. See, in integers, subtraction only works for closure property. Commutative property, big no. Associative property, big no. Similar, neither with closure property, not with commutative property, not with associative property. You can put any of it, right? So it says that it's like minus 16 divided by 4. So it's written like minus 16 divided by 4. I'll write it over here. It will be what? Minus 4 and then divided by what? These are these steps, right? So 16 divided by 4. I'll write it for you. Don't worry, it looks very clumsy. Okay. I'll write minus 16 divided by 4. Right? I'll just solve it for you. And then divided by minus 2, right? This is what divided by minus 2. I'll just show you. This is P divided by Q divided by R is equals to, P is all left alone. Right over here. This is P. Now you have just bracket this thing and P is like, and Q divided by what? R, right? So P is what beta? Minus 16 divided by 4 divided by what beta? Minus 2, right? This is your answer. So 16 divided by 4 is what beta? Minus 4 divided by what? Minus 2. So negative divided by negative is what? Answer is positive. So 4 divided by 2 is your answer is 2, right? Now you just see this. This is negative 16 divided by 4 divided by minus 2. So it is what beta? Positive number divided by negative number. So your answer will be what beta? Negative 2. Now, negative divided by negative, it will be what? Positive. But 16 divided by 2, your answer is 8. So 2 is not equal to 8. So we say that it is not associative under division also, right? Now, let's do some questions, okay? What are the questions we have? See over here, the questions. It says that minus 9. So let's take this as question 1 and this as question 2. I'll be solving question number 1 over here. It says that x is equals to what beta? Minus 9 minus of minus 3. And y is equals to what beta? 7 minus of minus 4. And right. And z is equals to what beta? Z is equals to 6 plus of minus 2. Now I have taught you. Please, 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 please pay attention, right? Now just see. I'll be using the square. Now just see this. As I told you, negative into negative is what? Beta positive. So this is what? Negative 9 plus 3. So negative plus positive is what? Again negative. So your answer is what? Minus 6. You will be subtracting and putting the negative sign. Now again negative into negative is what? Positive. So this is written as what? 7 plus or 4. So both you're adding. So this is equals to what? 11. Right? Now this is equals to what? 6 positive into negative is what? Beta negative. So one is positive, other is negative. So you will be what? Subtracting and putting the sign of the greater number. 6 minus 2 is what? 4, and put the sign of this is equals to what? 4. Now it says that what it is saying. So it's saying x minus y minus z. So x is what? Beta minus 6 minus y. It's minus 11. Wait a minute. See, this is going to be minus 11, right? And this is minus 4. So all of them are negative. So actually you will be what? Adding. Adding means what? It will be what? 11 plus 6, 17, 17 plus 4, 21. So you will add it up and put the negative sign. So minus 21 is your answer, right? C. Right? Coming to the question number 2. What's the question number 2? It says that x, y, z and find x plus y plus z. Right? So you can just give a try. So x is equals to what? Beta minus 8 minus of 9. Right? Y is equals to what? Beta plus 10 plus minus of 2. And z is equals to how much? Beta 11 plus of minus 13. Right? So stop using the additive inverse thing. Okay. Let's do this. So this is equals to what? Beta negative into positive is what? Negative. So minus 8 minus 9. So both are negative. Actually adding and putting the negative sign. So minus 17, right? Now 10, this is again plus into minus is what? Negative. So 10 minus of 2 is equals to what? 8. That is right. Now again, it's positive into negative is what? Negative. So 11 minus of 13. So one is positive, other is negative. So it is what? Actually 13 minus 11 is 2 and put is as negative 2. Now what it's saying? X plus y plus z. So x plus y plus z is equals to what? Beta minus 17 plus 8 minus of 2. Right? So you can go with the BODMAS rule or whatever you feel like. Just do whatever you feel like. But I prefer first I do addition of all the negative numbers. So it is what? Negative 17 plus negative 2 is what? Beta negative 19. And then I add. So I feel this is more convenient way. So this is equals to minus 11. That's your answer, right? Negative and one is negative and the other is positive. So in short, you will be subtracting and putting the sign of the negative number, right? Now, which statement is correct? The sum of the 3 negative integer is negative. The sum of the 4 negative integer is negative. The sum of the positive integer is positive. See, I'll give you an example of this. The sum of 3 negative integer is negative, right? Which of the following? Okay. The sum of 3 negative integers, see, if you're going to add negative plus negative plus negative plus negative. So it will be what? Beta, if I'll say minus 1 plus of minus 2 plus of minus 3. You're adding all the 3 negative integers. So you will be adding, the answer is what? Minus 6. It's negative. Negative 4 in negative integers. So it will be what? Negative 1 plus negative 2 plus negative 3 plus negative 4. So it will be what? Beta minus 10. Again negative. Now if I say the sum of the 2 positive integer is positive, right? So sum is what? Positive. So 2 plus 3 is what? Beta positive. That's positive. That's 5. So all of them are correct. 1, 2, 3. Right? Now just see this question. It says that an elevator descends into a mine at the rate of 6 meter per minute per minute, right? So this is the what? Speed. This is your speed, right or not? So its speed is what? Beta 6 minute per minute, right? Now, if the descent if the descent starts from 10 meter above the ground level, so this is what? Beta your ground level, right? So this is you went 10 meter above, right? And the descent, and how long will it take to reach the shaft or to 350 meter below the level? So 350 meter you have to reach over here. Here this is your end, and here you have to start, right? So you're going 350 meter below it, right? So what is the distance you travel? So distance will be traveled will be how much? Beta distance will be, you start from 10, like first you get 10. So distance will be how much? Beta 10 plus 350 meters. So this is equals to what? Beta 360 meters. So we know that speed is equals to, or we can say that time is equals to what? Distance upon speed. We learned that in your physics, right? So this is equals to what? Beta distance is how much? 360 minute and 6 meter. So time will be how much? Beta time will be what? Beta 60 minutes, right? Or 1 hour, right? Now coming to this question. In the competition, 3 marks are given for every correct answer, minus 2 marks are given for every incorrect answer, and no marks for attempting the question. Simple. We also do this, right? Okay. Sachin scored 20 marks. If he got 12 correct, how many questions he has? How many questions has he attempted incorrectly? So he has scored 20 marks. So that's the marks he got total, right? He got 12 correct, right? So it says that in examination, okay, he got 12 correct. So first part, let's see. So 12 correct means what? How many marks for 12 correct answers? Marks will be how much, beta? Marks will be equals to how much, beta? 12 into 3, which is equals to 36, right? Now he got 20 marks correct. Like he got 20. So marks he got, like marks he got is equals to what? 20. Where is the 16 marks gone? 16 marks gone in what? Attempting the wrong questions, right? So like how many questions? So first you see that how many questions, like like the difference of the marks will be how much, beta? Difference of marks will be how much, beta? 36 minus of 20, which is equals to 16, right? Now 16 marks he lose, and every wrong answers he get minus 2. So how many questions, like so number of questions, attempted wrong will be how much, beta? 16 divided by what? 2? Yes or no? Because negative 2, so this will be what? 8 questions, right? Now you can just try the same question. Mohini scored minus 5 marks in his competition and he got 7 correct. How many questions did he attempt incorrectly? It's the same, so you can just try this as homework, right? Okay. So, class, thank you all so much for a wonderful audience. And if you have any doubt regarding it, please ask it on the PDF and you can ask it to your respective teachers. And today we have learned so many things. What we have learned, the multiplication and the division. And this is the very basic, like we say that the foundation, like the foundation is being laid, right? Sixth also it's been laid, but yes, seventh it has been laid. Now we will be using this only for the entire rest of the questions of the rest of the life. We won't be using anything else. So please take care of these things. We have learned that positive into positive is positive, positive into negative is negative, negative into positive is negative, negative into negative is what? Positive. Now, negative divided by negative is positive, positive divided by positive is positive, positive divided by negative is negative, negative divided by positive is positive. Multiplication of any number with 0 is what, beta? 0. Multiplicative identity or the division identity is what? 1. Additive identity is what? 0. Multiplicative additive inverse is what, beta? Like minus 5, right? So if like plus 5 and minus 5, right? So you have to just take the opposite of the number. So if you have any doubt, be a one. Thank you so much, beta. Stay safe, enjoy, and bye bye to everyone.